for Garrett Rainey. Now he's got Wildman Michael Dean to his outside. Michael Dean has not been afraid to do anything to get to where he is right now. And what's he going to do for the win? Here we go. Sends it to the outside. Rainey closes off a challenge from Dye on the inside.
Roman's
he dumps him! Dye dumps him! Oh my God, it's a parking lot.
Oh, that's a final
white
lap.
flag!
The white flag's out!
Michael Dean is in first. The
With
caution
Ryan,
didn't come out.
here comes
Dye
Ryan,
dumps it!
dumps
Dye
it
dumps
again!
it! Who's going to get back to the line? Michael Dean!
Michael Dean!
Michael Dean hangs on for the win! Michael Dean defies the odds.
Oh,
Michael Dean is
goodness.
burning him down. Michael Dean has won the Venom All-Star race after an absolute send. It's the reverse Ross Chastain.
Send it. Into the corner. Michael Dean gets punted to the outside wall. And it's a it's a 16th of a mile drag race to the finish line. And Michael Dean is going to get the best of Ryan Dye on this one.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Well, for Season 6, for the All-Star Race and the All-Star Open, we're going bigger and better. How much bigger? Well, let's do some math, because that seems to be a staple on this channel for some reason. Last season at the LA Coliseum was 1/4 of a mile. Tonight, we're 3 miles. So I think that makes it about 12 times bigger, if that math is correct. But we are here for the All-Star Race, Venom's Night of Stars at iRacing Superspeedway. And to kick it all off here tonight, we are getting ready for 25 laps broken into 3 segments for the All-Star Open. It's the Booth Boys getting ready for some live coverage of the Venom Truck Series right here on Turn 200. Tommy Cook, Matt Williamson. Matt, you and I love a good old throwdown on the super speedways. You know that they don't make them any bigger and badder than they do here in the only existing in the virtual world iRacing Superspeedway somewhere in BFE, Massachusetts.
Yeah, no, it's certainly nothing bigger, nothing faster, and nothing that produces bigger, massive runs than it does here at iRacing Superspeedway. Here's the deal. We're going to get to the nitty-gritty details of this open race here in a second, but it could get pretty dang wild. So we're going to have a lot to watch here tonight.
Yeah, so this track, 3 miles long, The banking in the corners, I don't have an exact number, but I'm sure it's like trying to climb vertically up a skyscraper, basically, is what it feels like. And also you drop into the corners. Why not? Just to make it that much more difficult. Yeah. What are some of the quirks about driving this track at, by the way, at 210 plus miles an hour?
Yeah, well, I think you kind of mentioned it, just how banked these corners are. And we're going to watch a couple of the drivers kind of go around them here. Actually, maybe try to do a kickpot cam here. You can see we're going to go, even the straightaways here have quite a bit of banking to them. So it makes it a little bit awkward to push down the back and the front stretches, but they're just absolutely as straight as can be, so really not a big deal. And you see John Kay, he just dips right down into this turn, and the truck really wants to pull left when you get down in there. Oh, and he did a perfect job of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about pit entry. When you drop off of the front straightaway, off the banking down onto the flat for pit entry, it can be pretty jarring. If you got a bunch of people around you, it can get pretty hairy.
Yeah, you and I have been on the wrong end of pit road here many a time. It is very frustrating to navigate what is already a crazy race successfully, only to end up wrecked on pit road. Luckily, the drivers of the Open here are not going to have to worry about pit stops. 25 laps broken into 3 segments. First 2 segments, 8 laps apiece. At the end of 8 laps, we'll throw the yellow. Whoever is leading across the line the last time will be moving on to the All-Star race itself. The final segment is a 3-lap dash. So with caution laps totally encompassing altogether 25 laps, not expecting any cautions in the middle. So that is how things are going to shake out. You'll see more than 10 trucks on the starting grid here. But I'm going to tell you right now, only 10 trucks are trying for the final 4 spots in the field here. 3 spots out of the Open. This is how they qualified. Oz Kanar is going to lead the field to green here. He is without teammates in this race. No Paluota, no Reyes here tonight. So we'll have to see how the 16 is going to fare. Starting to his outside, Eric Breeding will lead the field to green on the outside of the front row. Row number 2 is Corey Rutherford on the inside, and Kenneth Graves, who does have some teammate help with him here tonight. He starts in the 4th position. Jan Van Leer will round out your top 5 starters. Kevin Sargent will start to his outside in 6th. Row number 4 on the inside is Mark Dillon Jr. back in the field for the first time in a few weeks here with the Venom Truck Series, and Paul Sargent to his outside. And then row number 5, your final 2 starters here, I believe, for the All-Star Open here tonight is Tyler Burgert in the 9th position and Cole Maxwell in 10th.
Yeah, and on the graphic, you're going to see a couple extra drivers there. Those are drivers that will already be locked into the All-Star race that will be coming up right after the Open here. So you're going to want to stick around and not miss that. We're going to take a look at track temperature here real quick, although it really won't play as big of a deal here at a track like iRacing Superspeedway. 110 degrees on the track temperature, which is, fairly warm, but again, it's really not going to matter much here, especially in a shorter Open race like this one.
Now, one other thing these drivers in the Open in particular are not going to have to worry about is fuel. Fuel window somewhere in the realm of 25 to 30 laps, on the lower end of that. So it'll be a concern for the drivers in the All-Star race, but these drivers are concerned with getting into the All-Star race. There is one driver in this field that does not know it yet, and we will not spoil it here on air, that is already locked into the show via the driver vote-in. And if that driver just happens to race their way in, then they go down the list to the next highest driver in votes. So potentially the top 3 drivers in voting can all get in, and that 4th driver could miss out, and but also then get in on the vote.
I thought that driver voted. I thought the name was Matthew Williamson. Ran a couple of recruitment races and did a pretty darn good job, if I have to say so myself.
He ended up with 0 votes, I do believe. But don't worry, so did I, because I caused the big one on lap 1 in the recruitment race at Charlotte. So I did not get any votes, believe me. We got Greg Roberts in the chat. We got JK Gaming in the chat. Wes Brown is going to cheer on Rodney Matney. He is already locked into the show. 3 other drivers out of this race trying to join him as we are green. Holy cow.
Kenneth Graves almost into the wall, maybe into the wall already.
It was awfully close. Not too sure if Cole Maxwell isn't blinking up a storm in the back of this field. He started in the 10th position, so not really threatening anybody with that. But out front, Oz Kanar leading the way.
Oz Canari's got a lot of help. Jan Van Leer is right behind him. A couple other trucks in line there. I think Berger and Breeding are right there as well. Actually, Berger has now moved to the outside. And you can see how angled these trucks are even on this front straightaway.
Oh, wow. That was close. Kanar going to get swallowed up here. He's going to be the meat in the sandwich.
Now,
the only thing that I didn't check on before this race was to see if there are fast repairs in this race in particular.
well, I'm pretty sure damage is completely off.
Oh, yes, you are absolutely
So
right.
That's one of the little tidbits we were going to get to during this thing is the reason we thought it could get wild is
Oh, Sergeant! Both sergeants around, no cautions.
Kevin is turned around in turn 3. Paul is able to continue, but I think is going to lose the draft here.
Oh, certainly.
And part of the reason it could get wild is if everybody crashes, there's no cautions, no damage. Damage is off here. So if everybody might have to make a mad scramble to the line in second or third gear if all goes awry in turn number 4.
You had the line of the stream last season with the what'd you say, 16th of a mile drag race. how about a 9-mile drag race in the final segment here? But certainly,
and
possibly a lot of drag racing here as these guys are all over the joint.
The trucks on the bottom touch the apron, and that is a huge no-no here at iRacing Superspeedway. Once you get down to the apron, it just goes straight from the banking to almost completely flat. And if you touch that flat spot, it is not a good thing. But as I mentioned before, when you get down into those corners, the truck wants to pull to the left. So you really have to do your due diligence to try to keep that thing straight rather than going down the track. And then once you get to the middle of the corner, it wants to drift up the track. It's a handful.
Absolutely is a handful. It's on everybody to make sure that you are basically minding the gap between you and your competitors. To avoid that,
you know what? Let's go a little kickpot cam here with Eric Breeding. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about.
Breeding's going to get a good look at the 3-on-1 handicap match here happening down the straightaway here.
Breeding thought about going to the outside. He sticks with the trucks on the bottom. And to me, especially in the trucks, I think one of the keys to this track and working together, you need to make sure you carry and keep the momentum going through the middle of the corners. Because if you're... Whoa!
Oh, boy! Man, oh, man.
That was Oz Kanar.
Wow.
Hard into the outside wall just like that.
So he will get that truck pointed in the right direction. And we just had Virox in the chat too, cheering for Kanar. His race is not over. I forget we get a caution in about 2 laps here. But right now, teammates out front. Tyler Bergert, Mark Dillon. Bergert was up front at the end of last week's race in New Hampshire, was rather unceremonious, dispatched of. So he would love to finish this segment up front here and lock himself into the Night of Stars for the Venom Truck Series. Oh, boy. Everybody was on the apron.
Everybody was on the apron, and then what I was going to say before Kanar got ousted into the outside wall there, if your entire line drifts up the track and then tries to kind of come back down, you lose a lot of the speed that you were carrying previously. You want to try to almost start at the top and kind of angle your way down throughout the corner to keep the speed rolling. That's how you get really big runs out of the corners.
So I believe 2 to go here. Bergert and Dillon. Teammates working away as Breeding and Van Lee are working side by side here.
And some blinking from JVL in the 5, but still here. Thought he was going to help Breeding. They're going to fan out.
Here we go. Should be the final lap in segment number 1. And Eric Breeding pushing hard here. Losing his help now. Jan Van Leer trying to get squared up to the back of the 26. But now Bergert losing his help with Mark Dillon. Now the 3 Pony Express teammates are going to line up nose to tail on the inside. Breeding may have the preferred line here. He'll definitely have more space to work with. He is going to crowd the 44 and the 34. Bergert back out in front. He'll be able to defend down the front straightaway. Here comes the run from Breeding. Covered off by Bergert all the way to the wall. Breeding turns him. Oh my gosh, it's Jan Van Leer at the line. Jan Van Leer is in the show.
Wow. Right place, right time.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And Bergert's going to try to get going here. He flipped over pit wall. He's currently on pit road right now.
That was with 5 trucks or 6 trucks. That was 5 trucks. Imagine when we get 20 out here later.
Then I'm getting it. Oh, Jan Villiers jumped to the pits because he's already in the show.
Yes.
I understand now. Okay.
Yes, he is going to technically be a DNF, but he wins segment number.
All right,
he
well,
is in the show.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here because this thing gets wild. Bergert was trying to block everybody and their mother and the ghost of anybody else that's ever been in their life was all over the racetrack. That's the 44 Breeding. Tries to take it up top. JVL behind Breeding goes to the very tippy top. So Breeding goes for the crossover. Bergert comes right across the nose. Those two are going to get turned into the wall. There goes Bergert up on top of pit lane. He's doing a 50-50 board slide down pit lane there for a second. And JVL, Jan Van Leer, is going to win that segment, and he is on to the show.
Jan Van Leer says, "Pop, shove it. I'm going to the big dance, and y'all can battle it out from here." Wow. Well, I guess if you're listening, Jan, you want to pop up here for a quick little number, come on in. But, yeah, we got a couple of laps under caution to kill, so let's chat to the folks out here in Turn 200. And a lot of drivers, I think, hanging out with us before the main event here later tonight. I mentioned Virox cheering for Oz Kanar. Also, Internet's in the chat, hanging out with us. Paul 20 JSU says, "Let's go, Eric Breeding." And, of course, John K. Is here, I guess. Ugh.
John K. always wanting his TV time. And just absolutely hounding us for the TV time at all times.
Something tells me he's going to get a lot of TV time in the All-Star race itself later tonight.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I can't tell you how excited I am.
Well,
Very
here's the thing.
to...
He's either going to have the most TV time or the absolute least if he decides to get too froggy in the beginning.
Oh man. I'm so excited. This is going to be a great All-Star race.
I just love it because it's quite literally the opposite of what we had last year. We went from quite literally the smallest track really possible on the sim for them to have the All-Star race at. And then we turn around and come to the absolute biggest monstrosity that's ever been created in the virtual sim world, of course, because there's no way this thing could actually be constructed.
No, this would be taught in the history books along like the Panama Canal and some like of the inner city skyscrapers in like the 20s and 30s that like rewrote labor laws because they were so deadly to construct. Well, it's sort of a good news, bad news situation for Pony Express, I think. The good news is that as this race continues on, they will definitely have the numbers game. They will have the drafting ability. The bad news is that there is a chance, unless one of them gets voted in through the fan vote, that they will not all be in the show. So it's definitely a win-lose.
Well, if you're got teammates pushing each other, I mean, there does come a time where
that decision is going to be made.
you got to decide to take one for yourself.
Jeremy McKinnon says he's itching to get after it. The dude KZ53 in the chat as well. Those are the two Super Speedway betting odds favorites, I think is completely fair to say in the Venom Truck Series. Those are the two guys, McKinnon and Zittel, that you always look to finish up front or run extremely well, at least at the Super Speedways. They are both very excited to get to the All-Star race later tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it here on Turn 200, as well as we just know from the history books and learning about the Venom Truck Series that they were obviously forces to be reckoned with before we took over the privilege to broadcast for them. But they've shown it here on our channel as well, so I'm sure the viewers are very well aware of what those two are capable of.
Should be coming to the restart here on lap 13. So then I got to do my math.
What will we have, 8 laps and then the 3-lap dash? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah. I feel like we went an extra lap here under caution than we were supposed to. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Because I think then it would set us up for a 2-lap dash at the end. So maybe we're going to...
Mikey's in the chat saying JVL number 1 in our hearts. Also number 1 on the track for segment number 1.
I am the odds-on favorite to wreck both Jeremy and Kyle, says JK Gaming. Incredible strategy. Well, we'll see if it comes to that. We're coming back to a restart here. Kenneth Graves, Eric Breeding showing the way. Corey Rutherford and Oz Kanar on road 2. Mark Dillon Jr., Tyler Bergert, Kevin Sargent, Paul Sargent. Back in the mix. I do believe we have lost Cole Maxwell due to some connection issues. Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
All sorts out of shape.
Kenneth Graves was all over the apron. He's able to control it, though. That is one tough monkey to swallow. He does it.
My man out here eating whole monkeys, apparently.
I'm throwing it all at the wall here tonight, apparently.
It's all right. I tried a couple of catchphrases last night that didn't stick at all.
Man, you can see, I mean, so many drivers at so many times are touching that apron. It is so hard to keep your truck from diving down left there. Oh,
here we go.
And here goes Graves, Bergert,
the Pony
and Mark
Express.
Dillon Jr., Pony Express, showing their hand early here.
And they shuffled Breeding back. So Kanar and Rutherford and Breeding all fall in line here. The Sargent boys silently going to work here at the back.
And here goes Breeding. He doesn't want any part of that train. He wants to come up here and challenge Pony Express, looking to take control. Bounce off the apron.
Oh, boy.
A little bit of contact between Rutherford and Eric Breeding as well.
I mean, Bergert almost got hooked by Dillon. It was close. As close as you can get without just being.
Everybody playing nice for right now. Trying to come together and get the run. Here they go. It's Oz Kanar, Eric Breeding out to the outside, and a block from the front of Pony Express.
Wow, Kanar slots himself into line. That was an aggressive but an incredible move. Wow.
I mean, that was a necessary move to break up Pony Express, and he did a heck of a job. He did exactly what he needed and wanted to do there.
And that all got set in motion when Kennard tried to send a bump draft up the line to Dylan and sort of got loose. When he got loose, he kind of moved out in front of Breeding, and then the run was on from there. And now, some netcode contact, I think, between Breeding and Kennard. Kennard with a little flick of the wrist to save it.
And a little
now
more.
they door. Oh, my gosh. Well, Breeding all by himself here on the outside has to make some aggressive side drafts and swipes and swoops, if you will, to hang on, as he really doesn't have any help behind him.
No.
Oh boy!
Kanar way up the track.
More netcode between the two. There was a good, about a foot between the two. Not much, but a little.
Well, Mark Dillon is being awfully nice back here.
Yes.
On the last lap, he is going to stuff his nose on the bottom of Oz Kanar if he does that on the last lap. I can assure you.
Oh, absolutely. And you can't say you would blame him either.
Not at all. You leave it open, I'm taking it.
Yeah. Comes the point where there is absolutely no more give. There is only take.
Alrighty, the Sergeants are coming into the mix here. I think they'll go with Breeding. Oh, and there we go.
Oh, boy.
Kennard, contact. Breeding in the wall.
And there goes Kevin. Oh, boy.
Oz Kanar, Kevin Sargent also in the wall. It is a 5-truck race again.
The Pony Express showing the way. Graves leading Burgert and Dillon. Corey Rutherford is tagging on here. He needs to get up on his pony, if you will, and catch these top three. And maybe he'll drag Paul Sargent up with him. Lindsey G in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Paul Sargent, he's going to have to keep the foot all the way to the ground to make sure. Oh!
Oh, Dillon, wow!
Wow! Almost half the truck on the apron from the 34 of Dillon. Here goes Rutherford and Sargent trying to get around.
White
and
flag.
They do.
1 lap to go here in segment number 2.
Sargent's going to be kind of left out to dry here, I think. Rutherford slots in front of Mark Dillon.
Entry speed for Corey Rutherford in that corner, 226 miles an hour.
My goodness.
And he is hauling the mail.
Here he goes.
He's got the run, but he does not have the numbers.
There's the
game
block!
turned.
Graves is around.
Oh my God, they're all crashing. That is everybody. Who's going to get back? Oh my gosh, Mark Dillon Jr. violently barrel rolling. I think that's Kenneth Graves, the only one rolling right now. Oh my God.
Graves out in front. Everybody else is way back here. Looks like Mark Dillon, after the violent, I don't know, about 50 somersaults, is the next one moving.
Kenneth Graves. He's the only goddamn person that just crossed the line. I don't believe it.
Here comes some of the other ones. Breeding, Sargent, Kevin Sargent, Burgert still trying to catch up here. Rutherford's way back there. My good Lord.
You're going to get a good look at this, but I was watching it on the chopper cam. I got to be honest with you. Like, it was an aggressive block attempt from whoever was up front there, Graves or Burgert. But, man, I swear nobody hit anybody. It all looked like netcode. Every single turn coming down the track. They may have hit eventually, but they never touched to start it. At least that's what it looked like on my end here.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the far chase here then. Kenneth Graves is going to be in the front. He's got that pink topper on the truck. Burgert's pushing. Rutherford's on the outside here in the 25. Mark Dillon in the 34. So Rutherford all by himself gets a huge run out of turn number 2 here. Kenneth Graves is going to come up the track way too late to make a block. It was a little bit of net code, but it was very, very close nonetheless. So Rutherford and Graves way up into the wall. They then come down and take out Mark Dillon, who gets into Berger, who was your leader. Berger had to have thought he was clear of all of that at the time, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, gets suplex city'd by Rutherford and Kenneth Graves, and I can't believe it. Kenneth Graves just did a little Michael McDowell move there, and he is still rolling very shortly after he hit the wall. Let's take another look. Actually, let's just go ahead and take a look from his vantage point.
Well, what he's going to see is his teammate literally flying over him at some point. Yes, I said a bad word. I'm sorry.
So here's Graves. He's backwards at one point, but he just corrects it. Damage is off. The truck fixes itself after... Oh, my goodness. Oh! Mark Dillon.
What a ride.
Barrel rolling right in front of his teammate. Pretty much makes contact almost.
Insanity.
And Graves will take the win for the segment.
My, oh my.
Wow. Well, this is about what we thought the old no damage policy would produce, and we have not been disappointed.
No. So we should be coming back to green next time, and it'll be a 3-lap dash. But drivers, again, on pit road right now. Doing what? I'm not sure. I guess maybe tires.
New tires. Here is one thing. Once you get moving, if you want to fill up the fuel tank, you are going to be an absolute wrecking ball out of the corners out there. So it's a bold move, but it could be an interesting one.
Well, the other problem is these guys are going to have to catch the pace car here, which is moving at 90 miles an hour. And that apron is pretty nasty to contend with, speed-wise. So they're going to have to get on it. But up front, Mark Dillon and Eric Breeding have stayed out. The other drivers vying for it for the final race in position. Again, there is a vote in position that will be up for grabs after the checkers have dropped. But Mark Dillon, Eric Breeding, Paul Sargent, Tyler Bergert, Kevin Sargent, Corey Rutherford, and Oz Kanar are the 7 drivers left in the running for the final spot.
The final spot. Unbelievable.
Well, I think everybody in the chat seemed to enjoy that. Look at everybody lining up here on the inside because they pit on 1 to green. Eric Breeding already sort of the odd man out here just by the fact that he was the second and final driver to stay out. 3 to go. As if it wasn't messy already, it's going to get more messy.
Pretty tame up to this point. They know they have to be there at the end. But with about a lap and a half to go, I think that's when it'll start getting really hairy. Sean Boundy has the 09 winning this final segment of the All-Star Open. That's the bold strategy. Wow, Berger forces his way underneath the 49 of Paul Sargent.
Well, Kevin just had to make an incredible save.
Well, the 09 of Kevin, I mean, he's kind of been hanging around here in the back, and that might end up being the strategy that plays out. We've seen a lot of wrecking already up to this point.
It worked for him in the points-paying season opener at Daytona, where he went through about 20 trucks on the final lap to get himself a top 5. No reason he couldn't do it to get himself into the All-Star race, too. And thanks for hanging out with us, Sean Bounty, of your runner-up finisher from last night. Current points leader in the SWM Cup Series.
Everybody gets in line here. They're lining up for their final runs at the lead.
Cleared for final approach and takeoff. Maybe.
About 4 miles left here.
1 lap to go.
Oh, boy.
Breeding has it into 1. Here's Rutherford on his outside.
Oh!
Close quarters. Outside has the numbers for now. The inside run with the Sargents is making a big charge here. Third lane. Oh, Rutherford net code. Oh, my gosh. Breeding has made it through. I think Mark Dillon has made it through as well.
They're still wrecking behind him. It seems to be maybe a 2 or 3 truck race here.
Will Dillon get a big enough run to make a challenge? It's going to be close, but not enough. Eric Breeding wins the final segment. Unbelievable. The vote in is being announced right now. So we're going through the votes right now. Kyle Zittle's already in. Eric was second. Jan was third. And that means that Kevin Sargent has won the fan vote.
Wow.
So Kevin Sargent the 09 makes the show, just like Sean Bounty predicted.
Well, Bounty tried to take it back there at the end, but he's correct anyways. Kevin Sargent's going to make the big show off of the fan vote.
Never cash out your bet before the end of the Superspeedway race, Sean. Always stick with it. So that is your 20 truck field for the All-Star race, which again is getting ready to take place right now. Your final 4 race-ins, Jan Van Leer, then the 14 of Kenneth Graves, the 26 of Eric Breeding, and the 09 of Kevin Sargent. As we get our final glimpses of what happened here, this is how we're going to send it to our little transition video here with some final words from Matt Williamson.
Well, I mean, this one, almost everybody was involved in this one. I literally think Eric Breeding might be the only truck that was never actually touched in this whole thing. Rutherford goes up for a really, really late block on Tyler Bergert. Oh, and this huge netcode for Oz Kanara, truck not even close to him, but he gets kicked sideways right down into the 49.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Corey Rutherford's truck, but I mean, it had like a 10-foot bubble around it, basically. You just couldn't really get up next to him. Otherwise, you were just going to go around automatically.
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, that does it. Eric Breeding wins the last segment, and Kevin Sargent still makes the show under the fan vote rules.
And that is how we are going to send it to a short break here. We prepared a sampling of all the final laps of the Season 6 races that we've had thus far. And when we come back, we should be in the session for the All-Star race. So we'll see you here in a couple of minutes. But until then, enjoy. One more time around. Zittle at the line with help from Vroman.
Vroman giving a hell of a push to the 53 of Kyle Zittle.
The Super Speedway juggernauts of the Venom Truck Series leading the way. McKinnon on the inside, Zittle on the outside. Who is going to make the move further back that disrupts things up front? It's Garrett Rainey. Rainey now looking to get some help and make it 3 wide. They're wrecking behind. Pascal Samard goes around. Zittle nearly up and into Rainey.
Oh, more contact.
Zittle
Around.
Zittle's around and upside down. 10 trucks all involved. 3 make it through. It's McKinnon, Poliski, and Rainey. Poliski finds some ground underneath at the line. Give it to Andy Poliski. John Kay in control. Bartel trying to reel him in. Gap has come down by another 0.2. It's still over half a second for Bartel. Can he find something, anything, to get his way up to the lead? Or will it be second again at Atlanta?
Boy, he's trying everything he has. He was way up in the wall out of turn 2.
It's been a brilliant drive for Bartel, but it is not enough. Allstate John Kay hits turn number 4, and he is going to win the Get Along Little Doggy. Oh, as they are crashing in front of him. Oh my gosh. It was Poliski at the line, but not by much.
Oh, Stearns is loose.
Stearns is loose. They're wrecking behind McKinnon off of Salamone. This is the run to the checkers. Mega pileup behind at the line. It's Andy Poliski with the win.
Oh, and it is absolute calamity back in the back half of this field.
Now down the back straightaway here. Very few hazards between him and victory for the first time in Season 6. Through the S's, baby in the throttle. But coming to the line as a winner again in the Venom Truck Series for the first time in Season 6. After a third and a second, it's a first for Nathan Reynolds.
At the line, the white flag is out. Homestead Miami Speedway in Season 1 was the last time driver number 00 went to victory lane, but he's back here tonight in Season 6 at Texas Motor Speedway. Steve Froman is back to victory lane. Out front, Nathan Reynolds, well ahead of this, has taken the white flag. Matney maybe has locked up a podium here. But he wants second. Working through lap traffic, Nathan Reynolds already looking to take his second win of the season. He is going to come out of turn number 4 and win the All Your Race Car Belong to Us 180 at Twin Ring Motegi. The battle for second is on at turn number 4. Matney to the inside, Poliski to the outside. Poliski is going to hang on for spot number 2. Matney with a career best third place finish.
Mitchell and Poliski have finally sorted themselves out. Mitchell getting to Matney may help them here.
Down the backstretch, Mitchell still loose. Matney looking for a big run. Stearns start the snake down the backstretch. Matney has closed the gap, but can he find his way around the 05? Matney up the track. And I think for the second season in a row, it's going to be the 05 to the line first. Chad Stearns to win again at Michigan. Back to the line. White flag is out. One more time around.
Steve Roman got put in the wall off of turn 4, but I think he stayed there.
Dean trying to hang on to a podium spot. Poliski desperately trying to find anything he can to get up to John Kay. Big crash down the back straightaway. As up front, it's going to be win number 2 on the season for driver number 2. John Kay wins it at New Hampshire.
All right, everybody, we are back live from the transition video. Unfortunately, the session did get messed up. One of the couple of the drivers, their orders got messed up from what they did earlier, so they are creating a new session. We're just going to go ahead and throw it back to the transition, so you'll get to see all of the unbelievable finishes from the first half of Season 6 again, and keep your eyes peeled on them, because they are there's some pretty special ones in there. We'll be right back.
One more time around. Zittel at the line with help from Vroman.
Vroman giving a hell of a push to the 53 of Kyle Zittel.
The Super Speedway juggernauts in the Venom Truck Series leading the way. McKinnon on the inside, Zittel on the outside. Who is going to make the move further back that disrupts things up front? It's Garrett Rainey. Rainey now looking to get some help and make it 3 wide. They're wrecking behind. Pascal Samart goes around. Zittel nearly up and into Rainey.
Oh, more contact.
Zittel
Around.
Zittle's around and upside down. 10 trucks all involved. 3 make it through. It's McKinnon, Poliski, and Rainey. Poliski finds some ground underneath. At the line, give it to Andy Poliski. John Kay in control. Bartel trying to reel him in. Gap has come down by another 2/10. It's still over half a second for Bartel. Can he find something, anything, to get his way up to the lead? Or will it be second again at Atlanta?
Boy, he's trying everything he has. He was way up in the wall out of turn 2.
It's been a brilliant drive for Bartel, but it is not enough. Allstate John Kay hits turn number 4, and he is going to win the Get Along Little Doggy. Oh, as they are crashing in front of him. Oh my gosh. It was Poliski at the line, but not by much.
Oh, Stearns is loose.
Stearns is loose. They're wrecking behind McKinnon off of Salamone. This is the run to the checkers. Mega pileup behind. At the line, it's Andy Poliski with the win.
Oh, and it is absolute calamity back in the back half of this field.
Now down the back straightaway here. Very few hazards between him and victory for the first time in Season 6. Through the S's, baby in the throttle. But coming to the line as a winner again in the Venom Truck Series for the first time in Season 6. After a third and a second, it's a first for Nathan Reynolds.
At the line, the white flag is out. Homestead Miami Speedway in Season 1 was the last time driver number 00 went to victory lane, but he's back here tonight in Season 6 at Texas Motor Speedway. Steve Vroman is back to victory lane. Out front, Nathan Reynolds, well ahead of this, has taken the white flag. Matney maybe has locked up a podium here. But he wants second. Working through lap traffic, Nathan Reynolds already looking to take his second win of the season. He is going to come out of turn number 4 and win the All Your Race Car Belong to Us 180 at Twin Ring Motegi. The battle for second is on at the turn number 4. Matney to the inside, Poliski to the outside. Poliski is going to hang on for spot number 2. Matney with a career-best third-place finish.
Mitchell and Poliski have finally sorted themselves out. Mitchell getting to Matney may help them here.
Down the backstretch. Mitchell still loose. Matney looking for a big run. Stearns start the snake down the backstretch. Matney has closed the gap, but can he find his way around the 0-5? Matney up the track. And I think for the second season in a row, it's going to be the 0-5 to the line first. Chad Stearns to win again at Michigan. Back to the line. White flag is out. One more time around.
Steve Roman got put in the wall off of turn 4, but I think he stayed there.
Dean trying to hang on to a podium spot. Poliski desperately trying to find anything he can to get up to John Kay. Big crash down the back straightaway. As up front, it's going to be win number 2 on the season for driver number 2. John Kay wins it at New Hampshire.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome back. We are here after a couple of transitions. The session is set correctly, and we have the actual all-star race on tap for you here coming up in just a few moments. You saw all the wild, crazy action from the All-Star Open, and we have more drivers in the actual All-Star race here tonight, so you can expect it to get even more wild, even more crazy, as I know how much the All-Star race means to our drivers here in the Venom Truck Series. It is the Booth Boys back at it once again here for the All-Star race. It's myself, Matt Williamson, and Tommy Cook, as always, on the call for you here tonight. Tommy, my goodness, what did we see in that All-Star Open? That was insane.
I'm going to use Ryan Dye's favorite GIF, I think. In a word, chaos. But we expected nothing less than just sheer, utter chaos. And now we're in for that ×2, literally. As we've gone from 10 trucks in the Open, moved 4 out from the Open to make a 20-truck field here tonight. Eligibility based on past All-Star race winners, past series champions, the race winners from seasons 5 and 6, and the current top 10 drivers in points, with a couple of substitutions as well. Unfortunately eligible, of course, 2-time series champion, current points leader, multi-time race winner, former winner of the All-Star race, Nathan Reynolds. He is not here tonight. He gave up his spot to the 11th place driver in points, Luke Peterson. Also not here tonight, Jeff Langston, three-time winner last season, made him eligible. Also the third winningest driver in Venom Truck Series history. His spot has been given up to Garrett Rainey, who was 12th on the points. So those two made a bit of a hot swap. Also, the leading rookie contender of the season, Nathan Palawota, was not able to make it here tonight. He was eligible based on his points position. So his spot has been given up to Kyle Zittel, who was the next highest driver, rather, in points. So that is how those three made it in, despite being a little bit outside of the realm of eligibility. We got Wes Brown still hanging out with us in the chat. He is, of course, rooting for Rodney Matney here tonight, who has pointed his way into eligibility. I mean, talk about bringing the hot hand on the floor. Rodney Matney has been absolutely killing it of late, and he has been steadily working his way up the point standings.
Yeah, certainly has. I mean, he has strung together a lot of really good finishes here, kind of towards the middle of this season, just within the last 4 races or so. He's kind of strung together quite a few really, really good ones, and he's looking to keep the momentum going here. Obviously, a night of a lot of fun here. Of course, it's iRacing Superspeedway, so much different than we would normally see in the Venom Truck Series. Something a little more fun and I guess sort of tongue-in-cheek, as you saw with the All-Star Open, with no damage in those races. But these drivers take this thing seriously. All of them want to win badly, I can assure you. So I think the action is going to be hot and heavy as we continue on here tonight.
We've had 2 All-Star races, 2 unique winners. Nathan Reynolds won the first one, and last season, you saw it in the original intro to this video, Michael Dean won last season's All-Star race in incredible, spectacular fashion. And I think we're in for much of the same as Eric Breeding has just ended up on his lid. And the session has been advanced. We are ready for the starting grid here tonight for the 3rd annual Venom Night of Stars. And it happens this season at iRacing Superspeedway. And the starting grid looks like this. The driver that is leading the field to green is driver number 99, Will Salamone. And by the way, I want to say these were spun on the Wheel of Doom. So that is how these starting spots were determined. Other than drivers 17th through 20th, they worked for it a little bit here tonight. TJ Bartell then draws the number 2 starting spot. Awesome starting spot for the turn 200 truck. Row number 2 on the inside, Rodney Matney will start in 3rd, with Brantley Gainey, the winner from Atlanta last season, the new Atlanta that is, starting to his outside. So another super speedway guy there on row number 2. Chad Stearns will start on the inside of row number 3 with 2-time series champion Ryan Dyed, who was outside the runner-up finisher in last season's All-Star race. He finished runner-up to Michael Dean, who will start in the 7th position here tonight. One of the 2 bona fide super speedway aces, Jeremy McKinnon, on the outside of row number 4. The other one starts on the inside of row number 5. Kyle Zittel, the decent one, starts in 9th. To his outside, Flinky Roberts rounded out your top 10 starters here tonight. Row number 6 on the inside is the All-State John Kay, the one and only. To his outside, Paul Ellison in 12th. Row number 7 is Steve Roman on the inside, another great super speedway racer. He won at iRacing Superspeedway in the Truck 200 recruitment race here last year. Garrett Rainey in 14th. The reigning series champion Andy Poliski starts in 15th, with Luke Peterson starting to his outside. And then it is your racing drivers, Jan Van Leer in 17th, Kenneth Graves in 18th, Eric Breeding in 19th, and Kevin Sargent in 20th. Alrighty, Matt. What are we going to be watching for here in this race in terms of some fuel numbers and some strategy and what have you?
Well, we're going to take a look at the weather as well as some of our strategy here tonight. Something that is much different than a normal race in the Venom Truck Series is we do have one fast repair tonight.
Oh!
So, the driver's going to... They'll be able to get after it even more so than they usually do because they have a little extra life in their pocket here tonight. The fuel window we're looking at is 25 to 30 laps. It's a 50-lap race, so a one-stop race here tonight as long as we don't have too many cautions. Sets of tires, I'm really not sure. I'm assuming it's probably our normal 3, but really not going to come into play much here tonight anyways. And then looking at the weather here on the track, 113 degrees on the track temperature. Of course, that is pretty warm, but won't affect the drivers too much, although you can slide up the banking here pretty good in the corners, but you can do that even if it's not hot. So not going to affect them too much.
Lindsay G says LFG from LFG. And the field is about to GG. Go green. That didn't work, did it?
No,
but we're
that
underway
was perfect.
with the All-Star race.
I liked it.
Thank you. Ryan Dye immediately jumps to the bottom here. Is Will Salamone rocking the white and orange here up front.
And that inside line gets a really good corner exit speed, but we have one left in the middle, and I believe that is Rodney Matney, and nobody has come to help.
In no man's land. McKinnon is leaving space up top, and I think Matney's going to have to take it, either that or suffer the consequences.
Yep. Matney takes what he is given. He slots into that top line. Two very distinct lines all the way down to the bottom and all the way up towards the top of the front straightaway.
It's Bartel showing the way, but I think he's maybe about to get shuffled out. Brantley Gainey finds the space underneath.
And Bartel is somebody we usually talk about on the intermediate tracks with a lot of tire fall off. That seems to be where he is at his best, but don't get it twisted. He knows what to do to get it done at a track like this as well.
What's going to help him as well is having Jeremy McKinnon tucked up underneath of him. Jeremy will do whatever it takes to get up to the front. And usually there are a couple of people who tag along, if only as byproducts to what McKinnon is able to do.
Bartel, I think, might have thought about trying to clear Gainey on the bottom. Figured out that it wasn't going to be there. He slots back in front of Jeremy McKinnon. And a couple more people hanging out in the chat here. Caitlin McLaughlin cheering on the 22 of Brantley Gainey, who is currently leading the field right now. Oh, Salamone all over the apron there for a second. He still sticks it to the racetrack. And Pascal Samard is in the chat as well.
Good to hear from Pascal. Disappointed he wasn't in the All-Star Open, but it's good to hear from him nonetheless. Especially how well he ran at Daytona. But sorry, go ahead. Oh, holy cow. That's Will Salamone ducking out of line here on the bottom.
Well, maybe he didn't like what he saw, felt like things were getting a little too antsy up towards the front, and he's going to make his way to the back of the field and continue from there.
That puts Bartel back in control, but for how much longer? Gainey again, mounting another charge here on the inside with some help from Rodney Matney.
Well, somebody that is a great pusher and a great leader in superspeedway racing is Jeremy McKinnon. He's second on the outside of the number 12 Castrol Edge truck. It's got Flinky Roberts behind him, but he's usually really aggressive, and this is a track where you can be pretty much as aggressive as you want to. There are multiple lanes to try to make passes. And
how many multiple?
Many multiples upon multiples.
So that was Chad Stearns that just bailed. I think he bailed so hard he may not be able to catch the draft here. We'll have to see. It's going to be close. But Jeremy McKinnon, oh boy, here comes a run up the middle, 3 wide. Goodness gracious, an aggressive move there.
Oh, that's Kyle Zittel. He gets a push
for
from
the
Dean,
decent
but
one.
It was a little sideways there for a second.
Oh, there he goes!
The
Zittel and Bartel into the wall. Caution is out. And again, one faster pair, but these guys did not want to have to use it there.
Oh.
As that, I mean, they actually touched there. There was no net code.
No, not at all.
No, there was actual contact there. Flinky Roberts said he is bidding for a change of underwear here after that.
I mean, it's definitely a tough spot to be in here. Going 3 wide into this corner, it is not easy. As we mentioned many times in the open, your truck really just wants to dive left when you go into these corners, and I think that's kind of what happened to Bartel. Bartel was already trying to hug Kyle Zittel, and as he comes down into the corner, the truck just goes straight left on him like it does for so many. And him and Zittel just plow into the outside wall. I'm not sure McKinnon didn't really get kicked sideways, but looked like there could have been some minimal contact there on the left front of his truck as well. So we'll have to see if he comes down pit road for any repairs.
I mean, some fantastic escapes by McKinnon and Flinky Roberts. Paul Ellison comes real close to that as well. Something we had neglected to mention after the initial start, John Kay had lost the draft.
Well, I saw John Kay way back there. I didn't really see what happened to him.
I didn't either. But he just came over the radio and said, I know you're listening, referring directly to me. And he says, get ready for the fireworks.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
Alrighty, here we go. Pretty much everybody coming down pit lane, surely for fuel purposes. We do have a few stayers, though.
Gainey, Matney, Vroman. And who is this? Is that Flinky Roberts behind Steve Roman here?
Yep.
So the top four stay out. Everybody else on pit road. Get ready for the fireworks. It sounded more like a threat. I don't know why he's threatening me. I'm not racing.
I think he's just wanting to let us know what's about to happen.
Well, anytime John Kay's on the track, you always expect exciting racing. I mean, he's brought that to the table. I mean, every single race this season.
And in the Daredevil series.
And in the Daredevil series in his lone appearance. Which, speaking of which, you talk about crazy races. Not that tonight isn't going to be one, but tomorrow night with the Daredevil series is the quintessential crazy race of the season. 66 laps, longest race of the year at Michigan. Oh my God. That is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, usually with those cars, we have a little problem with tire temperature. Not at Michigan. At Michigan, they will be able to just go all out for as long as they want to and as long as they have to, and it will be 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide into turn number 1. I mean, we say it a lot, but I cannot stress it enough. You do not want to miss that race.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
last time at Michigan, 4 wide photo finish at the end. Incredible.
It seems like Kyle Zittel has decided to not take his fast repair. He's going to try to get repaired as much as possible so he can keep that fast repair for later on in this race. Now, he has a long ways to go around and catch the field here.
Not only that, he's also a lap down. I think it took him a lap to tow. Brandon Gainey is going to elect the inside. He's got control of this restart. I know we got the Gainey gang out here with us tonight. It's great to see this 22 back up front. I know we have point and jinxed him a couple of times in the last couple of races. And like 3 or 4 different times at New Hampshire, I think.
Yeah, well, you know, that's kind of what we do best, if we're being totally honest. But
yes,
he's got a dang good-looking livery on this thing.
It's fantastic.
For tonight. I like the front of the grill says "move over" so you can read it from the rearview mirror. That's it's pretty funny.
And luckily for him, he's got a bunch of help in this race. 3 of the 4 ICR drivers in the field here for the All-Star race itself. Jan Van Leer raced his way in, and of course Michael Dean in as the defending All-Star race winner. Some other drivers with some help includes Rodney Matney, TJ Bartell, and Kevin Sargent, Raging Moose Racing drivers in the field. Of course, Broke Guy Racing showing out big. All 3 of the active drivers on that team are in the field. Quite a few other full rosters or semi-full in the field here as well. Going back to a restart, we are already almost a fifth of the way through this race. Lap number 10 goes up on the board. Inside did not get a great restart there. Actually, really nobody got a good restart there other than the top 5.
Yeah, there was some sort of a big stack up there at some point. I did not really see where it started, but they are fanned out all over the place in the back of the field. Look at them swapping from the top to the bottom, bottom to the top, trying to figure out who they want to work with, who they want to stay away from. One of them is John Kay, who mentioned that there will be fireworks. He's buried about 6 deep on the bottom line, so he has some ground to make up before he can make the fireworks go kaboom boom.
Now, 2 trucks in front of him. That is the 38, and it is not Nathan Reynolds. Since Luke Peterson got Nathan Reynolds' place in this race, he decided to run the 38 truck here tonight. So I think he's still being scored as the 89, but he's running the 38 on the truck. And this is one of those instances where we as broadcasters are okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, usually we would be like, oh, this is a nightmare for us, but that's a nice little nod to the guy that you're taking the spot from. I love it.
So the top 5 are single file. 6 right now, John Kay.
I knew that was going to try to happen.
Oh, it's not over.
John Kay was trying to clear Rodney Matney so he could be the first car on the top, but he didn't quite have the room. Now Matney's door-to-door with him.
Oh, Matney and Brady.
Way up the racetrack.
I mean, Matney, I think, pretty much hit Eric Breeding right in the corner, the back right corner of that truck.
And now Kay is clear, but nobody to help on the outside. They're pretty much single file for about the first 8 trucks here.
Oh, Matney clips the apron there again. Here goes Flinky Roberts to the inside of Matney, if not really by choice. Just a matter of circumstance there, as Brantley Gainey continues to show the way here with help from Steve Roman, who a few races ago finally got the monkey off his back, finally made his long-awaited return to victory lane in Venom Truck Series competition, and is having a pretty good run here tonight as well. Everybody taking it easy right now, and for as crazy as things can get at the end of this, you can't say that you blame them, really.
No, but you also got to be asking yourself, if you do have one fast repair, are you going to be one of the guys that tries to go up there and use it, or are you going to try to save it?
What you hate is to be involved in the big one on the last lap and have the fast repair in the bank. That's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, what I like to do, we ran a super speedway series for a long time, and I always like to save it so there at the end of the race I could go create some chaos and know that I had a backup plan that a lot of people didn't have.
Force the issue, try and draw the foul in the lane, basically.
Yeah, not that I'm just going to turn anybody by any means, but just like to put some people in some uncomfortable positions just to see if somebody would make a mistake is what I'm saying.
A lot of jockeying here in the back of the field, and Michael Dean is going the wrong direction here with Jan Van Leer on his front bumper. They tried to make it work 2 wide. They got shuffled out 3 wide, got sent to the back, and now we're going 3 wide once again.
Oh, Matney on the bottom, Breeding in the middle. Kay is up on the top.
And he is losing momentum here rapidly.
Losing momentum and nobody to help.
Wow, big check up there on the inside. That was an evasive maneuver.
Yeah, Poliski made a big move to the outside to not make contact.
I mean, that was lightning fast reaction there by the 32. Unfortunately, he may pay the price here by losing a spot.
Well, that outside lane is starting to form now. John Kay pulls in behind Poliski, but they don't have much momentum, and they have people working to the outside of them.
These guys can all get formed up and, sort of keeps themselves in check. They may be able to make something happen here on the inside.
Yeah, and they're going to try to. Jan Van Leer pulls in behind John Kay. It's Michael Dean and Paul Ellison in tow behind them. And Matney looks to the bottom here into turn number 3.
Oh, boy, this could get ugly. Got to watch this apron.
Oh.
Wow. Matney held it perfectly there on the inside.
Yeah, he kind of shuffles Rainey out of the position. Rainey back to 4th.
3 wide behind them. I mean, 3 wide. It was 4 deep there for a minute.
4 wide, baby.
We are 4
here
wide.
We go.
Poliski rolls out of it. Back to 3 wide. Now the 2. Just as quickly as they get single file, they fan out 4 wide. Checking up there big time on the inside. John Kay got the worst of that.
Yeah, but this is going to get interesting. Flinky goes to help John Kay on the very bottom of the racetrack. Breathing. He's all over. Oh, he slots him behind. Wow.
Nervous moments, for sure. Poliski in the line now. Behind Flink.
And now a quiet moment once again, but always so close to disaster here at a track like this.
And while all this is happening behind, Brantley Gainey just out on a nice Sunday drive for the time being. He's got to feel like his seat is getting a little bit hotter, though. His guys are all just rocking and rolling behind him.
Well, there's a crew trying to go form a top line again. It's a few of the same. Poliski, Jan Van Leer, and Michael Dean again work in the second lane. And I have to believe if they get to John Kay, Kay will likely pull out in front of them.
Lap number 19. And for the 4 drivers that stayed out under this caution, how much fuel can you save under caution, and where does that put them in terms of needing a pit here?
Well, you can probably say, I mean, if you're in save mode, you could probably save a couple of laps at least here. They came into pit on lap 7, so...
Well, not the top 4, though.
Correct. The top 4 did not come in. Everybody else did.
The top 4
actually,
in that
the top
restart.
3 and then Greg Roberts.
Yes.
So they can probably make it, I don't know, maybe 30. I'm gonna say 30 laps is probably pushing it a little bit, but they can probably make it there. We've been proven wrong time and time again. There's some very good fuel savers, especially, I mean, if we're talking about Flinky Roberts, who's a little bit farther back in the pack, if he plays it correctly here, he can save a lot of fuel sitting in the middle of the pack here.
And that's what I was about to say about Brantley Gainey, is he really going to be out on the wrong end of this, because he has been out front this whole time. No opportunities to save fuel. What may be his saving grace is pushing up here on the outside in the form of Andy Poliski.
Well, it might be a little bit too little too late. He's already ran over 10 laps out in front with the pedal all the way to the floor.
Andy Poliski rocking and rolling on the outside with help from Lear and Dean behind him. TJ Bartell up here in the mix as well after taking his fast repair. Maybe feeling a little bit nervous in the 74 camp.
It's amazing to me how quickly the runs develop here. I mean,
yes.
We can be single file for 3 or 4
there goes
laps.
Poliski.
Yep, Poliski gets shuffled out here.
And look how quickly that just killed that outside line. They lost 3 truck positions, really 5 truck lengths to the lead just on that alone.
Yeah, now Jan Van Leer, he's trying to do some side drafting to keep some of their position. He's doing a pretty good job, but he needs the rest of those drivers to suck in behind him so they can get that momentum rolling again. They've lost a couple of spots here at least.
The very popular Super Speedway quick chat for all these drivers is "Give me suck."
Yeah, well, those trucks really need to suck up to one another right now.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that top line is quickly, like you said, the run formed up in about 2 laps. and it all got lost in just one turn. Not even one corner, one turn. As now I think John Kay on the wrong end of it again, as the inside line is checking up big time.
Yeah, big stack up there on the bottom. Look at how far Steve Roman and Gainey have gotten out in front of the rest of the field. That is going to be bad news for them.
It sure could here once Rainey pushing Matney in this outside line, which is drawn even keel once again. And look at this run. Here they go.
Oh!
Flinky John Kay go around. They tag Kyle Zittel. Caution is back out. Oh, boy.
Wow. Flinky Roberts absolutely destroyed. And as is the number 2 of John Kay. I actually missed that. We were watching the battle up here at the front. We'll get a replay for you.
That inside line checked up really hard. Somebody clipped the apron as well. It may have been Flinky. It was one of the 2 white trucks. We'll have to see.
We're going to back it up here. Actually, I think it was John Kay.
All right.
So we're coming down here into turn number 3. Oh, yeah, the truck in front of John Kay gets down to the apron, and Kay goes down to follow. He gets sideways in the turn, and if you've ever raced at iRacing Superspeedway, there is almost nowhere to go. Oh, and Kyle Zittel's going to take more damage from this. And I believe Eric Breeding plowed into the back of Flinky Roberts as well, so Breeding will have some damage off of this incident too. And I think it was the 89 of Peterson that got down onto the apron to begin with, and John Kay just followed him right down and kicked him completely sideways. And I want to show you how tricky this is. We're going to go ahead and go on board with John Kay as he is following the 38 truck down the backstretch here. And just see what this truck does when he gets to the corner. Just dives straight down to the left. And that is how quickly you can lose it. And there, it's almost nothing you can do when you're getting swallowed up by trucks behind you that can't get slowed down. So that will definitely be a fast repair for Greg Roberts. Probably one for John Kay as well, if I had to guess.
Yes. Absolutely. Flinky Roberts and John Kay both picked up meatball flags. So they have used their fast repairs. Kyle Zittel is still not pitting for damage here.
Well, he's trying to get a lap back. He was a lap down.
Yes.
And he still has a fast repair left. So
yes, he does.
He may or may not use it here, but he is at least going to get that lap back.
So, fast repair counter. Actually, John Kay says cleared the meatball flag, but he is still showing a ton of damage on that truck. So, I'm wondering if he has used his. Oh, yes, he did. Okay. So, fast repair counter for those of you playing along at home. Flinky Roberts has used his. John Kay has used his. TJ Bartell has used his. I don't believe Eric Breeding used his. He didn't have a ton of damage on the truck. And Kyle Zittel surely will use his at some point, but is not yet. As
No,
we
not
are...
quite. He's going to take his the lap around here to get his lap back. Kyle Zittel, that is. And he was able to hang on with the field.
Yes.
But he took more damage on that incident. So I don't know if he will be able to now or not.
Now, I do want to point back, and this is going to be basically equivalent to an inside joke between us. But you'll remember how Brad Saxton hung in the pack here in our Super Speedway League, missing basically the entire front clip to that car.
I do. And now
waited
that was a different car.
Yes, different car, for sure. Not as an extensive of a damage model as we have here on the trucks now. But trying to do anything to give Kyle Zittel and the KZ fans some hope here as the laps continue to tick away.
They have a fast repair. They have plenty of hope as this thing
for sure
continues on.
The question is in theory we could go caution free from here on out.
That's
Kyle Zittel
will
be. We've had a couple long green flag runs in pack races at the end of these races before, and sometimes they go the other way too, where we'll have 17 cautions between now and then.
Well, what I will say is if it's me and I have that fast repair left, I mean, certainly I would rather be up towards the front and be able to push towards the front rather than stay behind, because you're right, it's definitely not a given that we are going to have another caution here tonight. And everybody is good on fuel now. Everybody comes down except for maybe Kyle Zittel.
Yep. So the games you play when you get put in sort of a box here, backed into a corner.
Alrighty. Well, as we go for this restart, let's go ahead and go car inside with Andy Poliski. Or excuse me, with Michael Dean.
Michael Dean restarting here on the inside of row number.
A much better restart, it seems, for most, at least up here towards the front. Breeding pulls right down in front of Dean. You hear him get out of the throttle.
Yeah, behind Dean, there were about 3 trucks that were on it, and everybody else had a similar restart to last time. It was a tough go in the back.
Let's go check on Kyle Zittel, and Zittel is way back.
Oh, yeah.
From the rest of the pack. He actually might have a problem with overheating.
He is in trouble.
Yeah, his RPM's only topping out at about 6,500 or so, maybe 6,600. So he needs something to happen up here towards the front in a hurry.
And it might, because here goes Ryan Dye to the outside, trying 3 wide inside of the top 5. With help from Rodney Matney, but Matney going to lose his help in the Michael Dean, as Dean is going to shoot the middle here.
Well, Matney, I thought was going to stick with Ryan Dye. He doesn't. Matney now goes in behind Michael Dean. And
Dye hung out.
Yep, nobody there with him. And all of a sudden, TJ Bartel is leading the race.
Jan Van Leer sawing on the back bumper here of Brantley Gainey, trying to give him a huge push down the front straightaway here.
And he does.
The 22 back out front, but not clear. Now he's clear.
Yeah, he's clear if he wants it.
His help was clear too there for a second. Oh, Michael Dean all sorts of out of shape behind them. May stall out this top side for the moment.
And I tell you,
maybe not.
It's important to have a third truck there with you. Just 2 trucks that kind of get out on their own, they're not going to be nearly as fast as a 3-truck tandem.
Jan Van Leer blinking a little bit up top, and now backing up, looking for the big shot from Michael Dean. Here goes the inside. Bartel is clear up. He's going to get a shot from his teammate Rodney Matney there on the bottom. Steve Roman, the 3rd truck in line here on the inside. Again, Michael Dean, 3rd in line on the outside, but that outside line started to fade here as the laps tick away. Lap number 30 up on the board.
I think it's tempting on the outside line here to kind of swing wide in the corners, because that almost works to carry some momentum at a place like Daytona or even Talladega. But it really kills your run here at iRacing Superspeedway. So it is not the same as every other Superspeedway race or track we have here on iRacing. It is very, very different.
It does provide you with a little bit of peace of mind to move up the track, as you assume the people to your inside, in a worst-case scenario, are going to clip the apron and jut up the track like that. So that's maybe the only benefit that I see to it.
And Andy Poliski, he is buried here. Your Season 5 champion. He's another one of our car inside drivers here tonight. We'll take a little look at what Andy Poliski is looking down the barrel of here. Just really nowhere to go. He has some room to go on the outside. Ryan Dye is door-to-door with him at the moment, but even if he decides to, which he does,
there he goes.
Really not a whole lot of places to go unless they both decide to go for the third lane.
I think you're driving for Andy right now.
I must be. This is exactly what I would be doing.
Not sure how much further they're going to get than this, but it's worth a shot. They might stick with it here.
Yeah, if they can stick.
Oh boy.
Poliski, I mean, he's pushing the left, like literally the left sticker taillight of Dye there. That is a scary move.
Risky business. Top line is really stalling out here. 2 trucks clear on the bottom now, about to make it 3 with Steve Groman.
I mean, Dye and Poliski are making some hay here. Matney pulls up to the third lane. And there's a couple of dogs walking behind Andy Poliski. He's got the whole... Poliski nearly up in the wall.
I mean, you couldn't fit a sheet of paper between the 32 and the outside wall. Garrett Rainey, his annual blink. It couldn't come at a worse time. He pulls down below the yellow line to let the rest of the field pass here. Man, just as he had gotten up to second. Three wide for fifth.
Yeah, Dye and Matney's still trying to make that work, even though they lost Poliski. And they've made some ground. I mean, they're door-to-door with the 4th row here. And still moving forward.
They are coming up on the 53 of Kyle Zittel. Again, underpowered. Oh, trouble, Michael Dean! Wow, you talk about great timing for Kyle Zittel, but bad timing for the drivers involved in that one. It might have just been Michael Dean, honestly.
Yeah, certainly had to have been some sort of light contact with somebody else, but didn't look like anybody took heavy damage.
I think Dean was moving down the track. Flinky was sort of in that space. We'll have to see if maybe one of them moved up or down more than the other. But a fantastic job by everybody else to avoid that spinning 73 truck.
Well, as they entered turn number 3, and honestly, a lot of this starts with Jan Van Leer, who gets a bit out of shape because he is pushing the absolute heck out of the 22 of Brantley Gainey. So he pushes him all the way to the entrance of turn number 3, and Jan Van Leer, when you do that, you just carry so much momentum. He drifts up the track a bit. Michael Dean checks up, so now Flinky kind of has to check up a little bit. Flinky decides to go kind of stay more towards the bottom of that lane, and Dean actually moves towards the outside. He thinks he might be clear for Matney for a second. He's not, and then tries to slot back into that middle lane and makes contact with the very front bumper of Flinky Roberts. Just was not clear. He kind of split lanes there for a second. Oh, and he does get plowed into by somebody here.
Oh, interesting.
And I believe that was Kenneth Graves. So Kenneth Graves smashes into the 73. So heavy damage for the 14 as well.
Yeah, the nose of that truck is pretty well pushed in. So certainly coming to the pits this time to get some damage repaired, if not take that fast repair outright. I'll keep my eye on the 14 here, as some other drivers hitting pit road here as well.
Here's a look at the car inside camera for Michael Dean. Just trying to take a breath here, probably regain some focus, regain some confidence. Knows that he has a fast repair to play with here tonight.
John Kay gets the lucky dog. As Gainey, Van Leer, Dye, McKinnon, Poliski, Graves, Rainey, Salamone, Stearns, Dean, and Zittel all hitting pit road here.
looks like just fuel for Gainey. He's out of the pits already. Other drivers electing to take some tires here.
And Kenneth Graves, I believe, has taken his fast repair.
Yep, that truck looked pretty clean. And again, Kyle Zittel not taking the fast repair. He is in the pits trying to fix damage. So he is really saving it here to the end. Now, I mean, with 15 to go, this is the point where it is really a tough decision on whether you're going to use that fast repair or not. This is a pretty gutsy move.
For sure. But if we get the mother of all messes here in the next few laps, Zittel could be sitting pretty. The other problem he's going to run into is that he's still a lap down. Oh boy, chat! What do we think? We got our bets placed here.
Too
I think
close
everybody
to call,
is.
that's what I think.
I think everybody has been suffering from hypoxia because everybody's just been holding their breath, waiting for the big one. I think, the big win is around the corner for somebody. The problem is how many trucks, are we going to crash before that point? John K. just said, good luck to Michael Krall, even though Michael Krall's not in the race. He might be watching, though, so shout out to Michael Krall.
Oh, boy. This... Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
You and I have been here too many times in the super speedway setting. Oh no, Corey Rutherford in the chat doesn't want to jinx anybody by picking him the way his night's gone.
I'm so sorry, partner. But, if you want to pick somebody, we won't tell anybody it's you.
Yeah, there's definitely another Corey R in the Venom Truck Series Discord.
Yes, definitely. We'll blame it on that person. All right, TJ Bartell showing the way. Steve Roman in second. Luke Peterson and Eric Breeding on the second row. Rodney Matney, Kevin Sargent on row 3. Paul Ellison, Brantley Gainey on row 4. And Ryan Dye, Will Salamone round out your top 10. Jeremy McKinnon in 11th. Man, another choppy restart there.
Yeah, they're really stacked up here, especially on that bottom line.
If they're not careful, they're going to get a call from NASCAR about it.
Well, it was the 09 of Kevin Sargent that got a bit of a slow start. I believe he stacks up Ryan Dye. Ellison was right there kind of in the middle of that as well. Now Dye continues to go to this major third lane. I don't know if he's just trying to stay clear of everybody until the end.
Chad Stearns, I think, just made the move to go up with him. But, slalomed his way through a couple of different trucks to get up there. Now Brantley Gainey, who went the wrong way in a hurry there on that restart, is up there with him. Oh, disconnect, upload packet loss for Garrett Rainey.
Oh.
That
so
sucks.
More than one blink tonight, and that's all it takes.
3 wide for 4th. McKinnon making moves.
Oh.
Sargent shuffled out.
Yeah, Sargent drifted way up the track and got a little bit loose when he got to the top. He's going to, oh my goodness.
Boy.
Oh, here comes Michael Dean to put the smackdown on him on the outside lane.
Oh my God. Sargent, that is a helpless feeling. Oh boy, Kenneth Graves out of shape. How did he hang on to it? Wow.
There is almost too much action to pay attention to here. Ellison way to the top line. He pulls Dye with him.
TJ Bartell leading the madness here. 11 laps to go.
Well, that's the best spot in the house as we sit right now. Especially with somebody like Steve Vroman behind you. Vroman does not make too many mistakes.
Matney getting a push from McKinnon here on the outside.
And Poliski is tucked, pushing the pusher, tucked right in with McKinnon as well.
You read my mind there. Oh, Vroman clips the apron. There they go. 3 trucks from Broke Guy Racing all in the wall. Reckon is still happening here.
I can't believe it.
Broke Guy Racing.
I did it.
I mean,
I did it.
that started with Vroman. I mean, it was just an innocent little clip of the apron there, but boy, the consequences were disastrous.
I can't believe it. I just said he doesn't make too many mistakes.
Oh, boy.
Everybody deserves a shirt in this league.
Yeah. We'll get there. Let's take a look at what happened here, though. Let's take a look at the Matt Williamson Jinx sponsored replay here.
Yeah. I think we need a graphic one of those. But as we're coming down the backstretch here, look at Matney, McKinnon, and Poliski. I don't know how those 3 are pushing each other so hard without making really any mistakes. That is absolutely insane. Now, it's going to start down here with a 0-0. Vroman, he touches the apron. We talked about it earlier. Big no-no. He gets kicked out of shape, and he comes straight up into both of his teammates. That's McKinnon and Andy Poliski. And pretty much everybody else, well, I take that back. They were doing a good job, but Vroman, he lost a lot of RPMs. He was really slow, so Dye gets into the back of him. And Ryan Dye makes a little bit of contact with Michael Dean and Paul Ellison, but pretty minimal there. It's definitely Broke Guy Racing that gets the worst of it.
Certainly. And see, Corey, that's why you can make picks to jinx people, because we do it all the time. And it's getting to the point, I think we're pretty much sociopaths about it, because we can laugh about it and really, honestly, maybe not even feel too bad about it.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm thinking about just signing off and letting you do the rest of this thing.
All right. Well, I guess it wasn't my jinx, so I don't feel bad about it. But you know, I maybe I carry the bulk of the load sometimes. I think Brantley's just happy it isn't him tonight so far.
Okay. Really? We're really gonna start this?
I mean, I could just do a full field rundown and cover everybody if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that's probably for the best.
Alrighty, 9 laps to go. TJ Bartell leading the way. Rodney Matney is in second. Eric Breeding is in third. Luke Peterson is in fourth. John Kay is back on the lead lap and in fifth. Brantley Gainey then will be in sixth. Michael Dean in seventh. Chad Stearns in eighth. Will Salamone in ninth. And Jan Van Leer in 10th. Andy Poliski will restart 11th. Kevin Sargent in 12th. Steve Vroman then in 13th. Flanky Roberts in 14th. And Paul Ellison in 15th. Jeremy McKinnon is 1 lap down in 16th. Actually, Kenneth Graves is in 16th. McKinnon is 1 lap down in 17th. And I missed Ryan Dye in here somewhere too. I don't know. But that's the field. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. Now,
well, Ryan Dye was, I think, in the pits. He had some optional that he probably needed to get fixed there, if I had to guess. So I think he was trying to make sure that this truck is as tip-top as it can be. Jeremy McKinnon, he's taking his fast repair. Good, clean-looking truck out there right now. Restarting with, I think, what are we going to restart with? 7 to go here?
But McKinnon and Zittel still 1 lap down.
Ooh.
McKinnon, I think, had to tow there is the problem.
Yep, you're right. I didn't realize it. So he's going to need one more caution here and not be involved in it to get back on the lead lap.
Zittle's going to need 2 cautions. And also some people to just be out of the race outright so he can get the lucky dog on one.
Well, TJ Bartel, he's controlled the restarts, and there haven't been really super clean ones for everybody else. So he's been pretty much in the driver's seat since he acquired the lead. Looking to have another good one here.
And Joshua, what happened to Corey? What do you mean?
Unfortunately, Corey didn't make it.
Corey's in the chat with us. They can have their own little sidebar here about what happened in the All-Star Open. We could just say the All-Star Open was a spectacle. That is for sure.
A spectacle that Corey would probably rather forget.
Unfortunately. Very close. He was definitely making some great moves. And we'll see who else is game to make some big moves here in the closing stretch. 7 laps to go in the All-Star race. This time, a good restart through the field. Rodney Matney going to jump into the inside line right away behind his RMR teammate. The 2 Superkick Revival teammates, they're 3rd and 4th, as the 38 of Peterson slots in behind the 26 of Breeding.
And those 2 generally don't waste any time. If they're gonna go, they're gonna go as soon as they can, probably.
And speaking of going, here we go. On the outside, John Kay, Brantley Gainey, they are making the charge.
Here come the fireworks. John Kay promised it about 20 laps ago. It's finally come to fruition.
He was on the wrong end of the fireworks about 15 laps ago. Now Gainey gets a run on him, goes to the outside. Now Kay is going backwards.
Oh, I thought the 22 would stay with the 2. He doesn't. Luke
Peterson! Wow, an incredible save by him and Steve Froman. Froman is right back up in the mix here.
I can't believe Peterson saved that truck. He tried to help out John Kay and got really loose in turn 1.
Kay being in the middle here has really hampered the progress of this outside line, though.
Well, that middle line is getting a lot of trucks in it now.
Oh, here we go.
That's
Salamone.
Salamone. Caution is out.
And, I mean, was he the only one there? I'm kind of covered by the banking here.
I believe so. I don't think, definitely not any heavy contact for sure.
Oh, Kenneth Graves may have got a chunk of that one again. We'll have to check on that.
Will Salamone, he's in the bottom line here. We've seen it so many times already tonight. He actually kind of gets loose before the contact with the apron, but the apron just kind of spells the end of the save mode for him. Oh, and I take it back. The 09 of Kevin Sargent, he's the one that gets into Will Salamone. Pretty heavy here. Graves just barely scrapes by. And I think Graves is actually going to be okay, but the 09 of Sargent looked like the front of his truck. Yeah, that hood's crinkled pretty good.
Whew. Graves probably cut a tire there, if I had to guess. Yeah, he ran over the tailgate door.
All right, so Jeremy McKinnon, he is way up top looking to get his lap back as the lucky dog. Here he comes by the rest of the field. And McKinnon used the faster pair. He's getting the Aaron's lucky dog. I know.
I was going to say, what great branding. So many years later, way after they discontinued their sponsorship of that you could still associate the free pass with Aaron's, the furniture retailer. Incredible.
That is really incredible. I mean, it was such great branding that the Lucky Dog lives on and probably will for pretty much as long as NASCAR's around.
Yep. We're having a civil discussion amongst brothers about Smash Mouth, I believe, in the chat. And a little birdie told me that the Rutherfords, Corey and Joshua, may be joining us on Wednesday nights here very soon.
Oh.
For a little bit of TDS action. Maybe not tomorrow night, but some point soon. We would love to see Joshua in the Daredevil series on Wednesday nights, tomorrow night. I mean, they're more than welcome to come out tomorrow night because I think tomorrow night is probably going to be the most fun that these drivers are going to have.
If you want a grand opening and grand entrance into the Daredevil series, tomorrow night would definitely be the night.
3 and 4 wide or more at Michigan, flat out for 66 laps. That is going to be an absolute blast. We hope everybody will join us in the stream, if not out on the track, if you are so lucky as to be one of the drivers to be able to do so. And a winky emoji from Corey Rutherford in the chat as well. That's lovely. Lovely stuff. All right, partner. We are going to get a natural green-white checkered here. So, oh boy.
Oh boy is right. We saw the finish of the Open, the last segment of the Open race, and, well, if that's anything to go off of, it's going to get chaotic.
All right. Bartel and Matney on row 1. Teammates, we'll see if they get a nice clean restart like they did last time. Row number 2 then will be Eric Breeding and Ryan Dye, whose move making has finally gotten him up to row number 2 here. John Kay, Brantley Gainey on row 3. Jan Van Leer and Steve Vroman on row 4. Michael Dean and Andy Poliski then round out your top 10. Chad Stearns, Paul Ellison on row 6. Flinky Roberts and Luke Peterson. Then on the next row, Kevin Sargent is back here, as well as Kenneth Graves and Jeremy McKinnon and Will Salamone. Then the 18 trucks on the lead lap. Kyle Zittel begging for one more caution here. He is still trapped 1 lap down. And I'm sure, as regular league rules apply outside of the one faster pair here tonight, I would imagine we have 3 overtime attempts should we need them here. I don't know. Have we really seen any crashes here, though? I feel like these guys will take it all the way here.
Yeah, definitely haven't seen anybody hit the apron and go straight up the racetrack.
Moment of truth time. This might be the run to the checkers. 2 laps to go. Bartel and Matney. Breeding with a great launch on the inside, trying to prevent Matney from getting down behind his teammate. But now Bartel going to go up to his teammate, maybe try and give him a little bit of draft help. Not going to work. Breeding shuts off the inside. But here comes Dye with a big shot to Matney. They are all sorts of out of shape. Dye going to get shuffled out here. Gainey going to try and pull up to this 83.
Well, Gainey
the run
pushed
coming from behind.
Yeah, Gainey pushed Dye into Matney there through the corner. That was insane. Now Dye has help from Froman. There's contact in the middle.
Stearns, Jan Van Leer, others wrecking. Caution is out. As they were 3 wide for the lead, who is going to be in control of the restart? Dye, Matney, and Bartel were 3 wide. And Dye surges out in front. I think he may be started as the leader here as we get ready to go to overtime.
Wow.
Incredible.
Looking at the folks that were involved, it looks like Jan Van Leer, Greg Roberts, and Chad Stearns were probably the definitely not the benefactors of that one.
Well, we haven't really called out Stearns' name much tonight. I think he may be okay. I think Flinky is done, unfortunately, if the damage is too bad on this truck.
See if we can get at least a better angle here. We'll see what's going on. And we are 4 wide out of turn number 2. So we're going to go ahead and back it up to turn number 2 and see where this comes from. And it's Chad Stearns that gets an unbelievable run. So they're 3 wide in front of him, and there is a gap for the 4th truck, and he's going to try to take it. He comes in, Vroman on the top, Jan Van Leer in the middle. It's John Cabe underneath. Oh, and it's neck code contact with Jan Van Leer.
Of course.
Those two do a really good job of trying to save him. Michael Dean's going to take some damage here. Jan Van Leer comes straight down the racetrack trying to corral the truck into Flinky Roberts. So Dean with some damage to the front of the truck. Roberts with heavy damage. Jan Van Leer with heavy damage. Chad Stearns does hit the inside wall. I'm not sure exactly how bad it is. Oh, it's pretty bad on the left front.
Yeah, ironically enough, Chad Stearns is actually the only one that's going to pick up a meatball flag out of this entire crash.
So we will do it again.
And potentially again and again. We'll see if we get to 3 overtime attempts, who is even left in the race after.
Well, you know, we really haven't had a big one. I mean, we've had a lot of incidents, but it's been 2 and 3 truck incidents and maybe a 4th or 5th with minimal damage from it. So still a lot of players out here tonight.
Are you saying that in comparison to the end of segment 2 in the open where Kenneth Graves had to drive under his flipping teammate, like literally his teammate that flipped over him in turn number 3?
Yeah, definitely was referring to that, yes. I wish I could rack a replay of that just to show it again. Unfortunately, we are in a separate racing session.
Well, don't worry. That should be that in-car camera should be on every Venom Truck Series highlight reel from here until the end of time on turn 200. That was an incredible display of driving by Kenneth Graves and an incredible display of camera work by one Mr. Matt Williamson. Matt just jinxed the whole rest of the field, says Madison Bowen. Absolutely. That's the name of the game here. An equal playing field in a lack of luck.
Well, I mean, we're at iRacing Superspeedway. I think the racing track itself is about a jinx for the entire field. So that's just the name of the game here at the 3-mile iRacing Superspeedway.
Unfortunately, Garrett Rainey never got back into the session after he lost had the upload packet loss. Like we mentioned earlier, the one guy that needed that caution was the dude KZ53, the decent one, Kyle Zittel, who is back on the lead lap. And has he taken his fast repair? I think he has. So look for this 53 to be bat out of hell on this next restart.
Yep, I think he has. He's trying to catch up with the rest of the field here.
I'll have plenty of time to do that.
Truck looks clean.
The Titleist truck. Trying to glide through the field here like a Pro V1X.
And try not to get too many dimples on the way.
No, definitely not. Definitely not wanting to be hit into the woods to be picked up by some crappy golfer like, I don't know, me.
And we'll check in on Kyle Zittel. And he's in a little better spirits. He's talking with the teammates. Feels like he's back in the game. Figuring out what he needs to do to pull off the Cinderella story of the night.
A lot of these drivers hoping to be in control of their own destinies, but as everybody knows, Superspeedway racing is a bit of a crapshoot. We'll have to see who is going to be in it to win it here after 2 laps. It's overtime attempt number 1. Ryan Dye in control of the restart on the inside. Ronnie Matney to his outside. Not a great restart there on the inside, but Matney may want to duck in. The caution is out as they are wrecking behind Kevin Sargent. Don't tell me that was Kyle Zittel. Oh, my God. I think Sargent gets a bump from Salamone. I think the good news for Kyle Zittel is I don't think he hits the inside wall. I think he just gets a little tag, so no damage on the 53. Not sure we're going to be able to say the same thing here for maybe Salamone or Kevin Sargent.
We're taking a gander here. This is the replay. Huge stack up on the inside. I'm not really sure what happens here. But Sargent just doesn't really go. And you're right, Salamone hits him in the rear, and it starts to turn him, and left rear quarter panel contact with Zittel. We'll see if Zittel keeps it off the wall.
He does.
And yes, spoiler alert, he does.
And that would have been the ultimate jinx of all jinxes. And we would have never been able to live that one if he had just absolutely got torched on the restart before he even got back to the line.
So you see, I mean, there's some scrapes here on the left rear, but nothing too bad, especially at a track like this. He will be able to continue just fine.
Certainly. I'll have to see if they're going to hustle this restart here. That was a bit of an anticlimax, if there's ever been one.
Well, everybody's trying to catch the pace car here. And the pace car got way out in front of him since they had barely crossed the start-finish line yet. All right, so here's the first again. It will be overtime attempt number 2.
Just like that, 1 of 3 is done.
Yeah, we didn't get we got about, I don't know,
100
yards into that one, and it was already over.
Speaking of Pro V1s, about 100 yards.
That's as far as I can hit it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's about a top up to the ladies' tee for me. But the ball looks good doing it. That's the important part.
So here he is. We've talked about him a lot because we've been watching him closely with fast repairs and to see if he can even get on the lead lap. Kyle Zittel, he comes down pit road. He's going to get tires here and undoubtedly get some of that optional fixed. Blinky Roberts still trying to get some damage fixed as well.
So this is All-Star Race number 3. First one was won by Nathan Reynolds. And I couldn't really find out any information about that, and apparently there's a reason. Afraid to ask. But we know well what happened last with Michael Dean.
Michael Dean and Ryan Dye.
Yes.
Ryan Dye absolutely dive bombs the 73. But the 73 comes out on top.
But Nathan Reynolds, of course, 2-time series champion, winningest driver in the series currently. Michael Dean still looking for his first points-paying victory. And that's really the magic of the All-Star race is, you know, you throw statistics out the window, and it's about who the best driver is on the night. And there's so many stories up here in the top 5. Ryan Dye is, he's told us he's a little bit disgruntled with how his season has gone. But,
Could this be the one that flips the switch?
Yeah, the All-Star Race victory could really lift the spirits. I mean, just the fact that he's been able to make moves on his own terms tonight and get himself to the front has got to feel really good. In a track where you really are not in control of your own destiny all that much. Ryan Dye has maximized his opportunities to put himself in this position here at the end of the race. And 2 drivers, now teammates, that have been finding themselves up front more and more as this season has gone along, Ronnie Matney and TJ Bartell. I mean, Matney at the end of the year awards right now, not that I want to sway the voting, but I think it's fairly obvious that he is certainly a shoo-in for the Most Improved Driver award, if not more. I mean, on this trajectory, at the end of the season, he could be in the battle for the points championship. You never know. But what a story it would be if he could win the All-Star race here tonight. And the same for Bartel. Bartel has been having another fantastic season here in his second go-around with the Venom Truck Series. Brantley Gainey, your Most Improved Driver from Season 5, as voted on by the drivers. He is up here in the mix. And another sort of slept-on Superspeedway driver, but won at the new configuration of Atlanta last season. He knows how to do this. Eric Breeding's had some really solid runs here this season. He's down further than he wants to be in the points, though. Tonight could be his big turnaround as well. And, of course, Steve Roman right now in the 6th position. Got back to victory lane a couple of weeks ago. Would love to get back as an all-star winner. And that's just some of the stories here. We got 19 drivers in it to win it here. Overtime attempt number 2 is underway. Inside line stacks up again. Everybody did a pretty good job of not making a bad situation worse that time. Outside line has the numbers here headed into 1.
Well, it did have the numbers. Poliski and Peterson go to the bottom.
Breeding going to make the move up to the top here. Matney noses out in front, drops down to Ryan Dye. Net code behind him. Breeding and Poliski. Breeding now 3 wide. Oh my goodness. 4, 5, 6 wide. What the hell? There we go. Oh, there's the big one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trucks. Kyle Zittel in it. Oh, Tell out of fast repairs. That was the big one.
Wow. I mean, we saw it coming from just about 8 miles away. And it ended. It ended in a hurry. The race is not over.
No.
But some people's races are definitely over.
I think it's easier to tell you who was not in that wreck, and I think it's Matney, Dive, Roman, and Dean. Everybody else, I think, is going to get a piece of this.
That is unbelievable. Well, let's see if we can find the replay here. We have a lot to look at. Oh, yeah. We are well into it at this point. All right, so let's go up to the front of the field here. I don't even know what the best way to take a look at this is. We'll try to go chopper view. We'll slow it down for everybody. We're 4 wide down around the 4th or 5th row back. Some drivers have run, some don't. McKinnon has a run. Bartel is slow. Then Polisi goes way down to the bottom. And there's a couple of different incidents that kind of start here. Kenneth Graves is going to make contact with the 26 of Eric Breeding when he gets kind of pushed up the track by Ryan Dye. Eric Breeding's got that thin blue line there on the black truck. The pink top of Graves, they get together. Now, meanwhile, while that's happening, Poliski is getting basically punted down to the apron here by Bartel and McKinnon. So that's going to create another little incident, and it all comes to a head with Vroman and Dean get through clean there on the top, but everybody coming in here afterwards is going to get a piece of it pretty much. And a few drivers trying to skate by down to the bottom. Sargent and Zittel get together, and I think Zittel gets absolutely, yep, he gets creamed. Sargent actually escapes with pretty minimal damage here. That's the 09 of Kevin Sargent. Wow. Let's rewind it once again. I want to see if there's one person that might have a really good look at it here. And let's just go with Jeremy McKinnon. Why not?
Who is completely out of the race. He is disconnected, by the way. So a disappointing end of the race for him.
Well, McKinnon, he's trying to make some moves happen, and this is a green-white checker, so he has to do what he has to do. But there is just nowhere to go. Look at this hornet's nest he is in. I mean, just absolutely nowhere to go for anybody. So we're going to go back live here.
Still these four. Everybody's still catching up. Wow.
It was Matney, Dye, Roman, and Michael Dean that got through.
Stearns definitely, I mean, he got in it, but he also made it through pretty well.
Same with Sargent, the 09 of Kevin Sargent. He had just a little bitty nick of damage, but I think he's pretty much okay.
Salamone was behind it. I think he may have piled into it a little bit, but he should be fine. John Kay, I mean, was in it. Like, there's no disputing it at all.
Here's the thing. It looks like there's a lot of clean trucks out here, so there were a lot of fast repairs used.
Yes.
And this is the final restart.
No cautions from here on out is the word from race control. So this is point of no return. I believe 14 trucks running. Actually make it 15. Bartel in 15th trying to get back up to the lead pack here. And Kyle Zittel, believe it or not, still on track as well. So 16 trucks. But again, top four, no damage at all. Questionable from 5th on back. Not questionable from 8th on back.
But you never know. As long as those drivers can stay somewhat close, I mean, you never know what's going to happen at the front of the field here.
Flanky says he's blowing up, so he is going to be out of it. But you're right. You never know. It's the final 2 laps of the race, no matter what. Matney in control. Back to the green. Can Vroman pull up here in time to help this 83 fend off the attack from the outside? Vroman, no, he's going to stick it 3 wide.
I can't believe he split the middle there. Basically said, get out of the way. I'm coming through.
Where's Stearns going to go? Is he going to try and shoot this gap and make it 4 wide? He turns Matney. Vroman is around. Oh, and the caution comes out. And the race is over. Ryan Dye is out in front. The auto caution triggered. I think they're going to keep racing. Maybe not. Nope.
Nope. Everybody's piling into each other now.
Well, Ryan still has to finish this race under caution here. They still have to come around. Oh, man. The auto caution, which I don't think is triggered all race long, came on there at the end. And broke up what was going to be an interesting race to the finish there. But, I mean, a 4-wide bonsai move from Chad Stearns. We're going to have a couple laps under caution before we can make it official. Let's go ahead and take a look back at it.
Yeah, everybody jockeying for position. We don't see we don't see Steve Roman make a move like that very often, but he knew what he had to do. He made it. We're going to go all the way back to turn number 1 here. Vroman pushes Matney out of the way. Does the 00, it's my time to shine. He comes through. And off of turn number 2, they get a little bit loose with each other, and Stearns just gets this absolutely giant run on the rest of the field. I mean, a gap does open up here between Vroman and Matney, but Stearns is wiggling out of turn number 2, and he makes contact with the right rear of Matney. It turns Vroman, and many, many drivers will be involved in this one. And you can see out front that neon green, number 9, that's Ryan Dye. He is going to be your race winner.
So Ryan Dye across the line here. He does have a meatball flag, which I think he'll need to clear, technically.
And he immediately pulls off because after the race was over, a lot of the drivers came in and piled into him.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is if he would have picked up that meatball flag under a crash, maybe, I could see where there might be an issue, but I mean, he was deliberately wrecked in celebration under caution. So we'll go ahead and call it official. Ryan Dye has won the Season 3 Venom All-Star Race. I think technically he has been disqualified on the score sheet down in 15th, but I mean,
these
undoubtedly
unofficial results I don't think are going to be maybe even close to correct. I think Tommy's trying to get some clarification here.
So I think the podium finishers at the time of caution, at least according to Ryan Dye, and we can get some clarification here, was Dye, of course, leading, Dean in second, Salamoni in third. Eric Breeding is showing as the race winner, so I'm not sure if he factors into the podium here. But at the end of it all, it really doesn't matter because this race isn't for points. All that is going to be remembered here is that Ryan Dye wins this race in dramatic and somewhat controversial fashion here. And again, to do the full finishing rundown here, it doesn't look accurate. So I'm not sure how much good it's going to do. I guess we could. Should we go through it? I don't know. Well, we've already got the drivers in the waiting room here.
Listed in 15th on the on the standings, so I'm not sure this might be a moot point.
Yeah. We'll just go ahead and start the interview train here, actually, instead of going over these faulty finishing results. But your pole sitter, Will Salamoni, is going to rally to get back up to the podium. Welcome back to Booth 200. I'm not even sure what to ask a driver after a race like this. You were in a crash. Actually, you were in multiple crashes. Like, I don't know. Tell me about your race.
Well, I don't like staying up front, so I dropped to the back almost immediately. A couple wrecks happened. I stayed out of those, and then I think near the end of the race, I got loose and just spun out and got hit by a sergeant there. Then I'm just fixed all of my damage. Then there's the other, and then I hit him again for the second time. I ran to the back of him, spun him out, and that was completely my fault. And then just gotta wait. And then the very big one happened on these the last attempt, or the second to last attempt, and got up to 7th there. And then the final restart was just Chad going through the middle there and just didn't have enough room. I shot to the bottom, and when I shot to the bottom, I got by all those guys, and I got to 3rd. So it was a pretty eventful race, but I'm glad I could get back on the podium. So,
Matt, what do you got for Will here?
Well, congratulations. I mean, you kind of said it. You started pretty far back there in that final restart. I mean, what did you see unfold in front of you as you guys were coming out of turn number 2?
well, like I said, Chad, I knew. I mean, guys were gonna start ducking and diving inside outside, and Chad went through the middle there, and I knew it was not gonna work. So I went right to the bottom. I got by all those guys that spun out, and I got up to 3rd. So I was pretty lucky there, and I don't know what else to say. I'm not really good at these interviews here, so I mean, I just made through the wreck and got to 3rd.
Anybody you want to thank or shout out here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents, and I'd like to thank my driver, Brent Kane, that I help out on his car at Elko Speedway. We've been doing really good so far. We got 4 wins this year. We lead the points, so hoping we continue the success this weekend, Saturday. So, Yeah, thank you guys too for all your broadcasts. Awesome.
Absolutely. We're happy to get you back up here in the booth. You've been putting together a pretty solid season, but it's the first time we got you up here in the booth. Hopefully we can get you up here a little bit more as the season goes along.
Yes, sir. I hope to maintain my consistency.
There's your Venom Classic Cup Season 1 champion Will Salamone on the podium here tonight. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Yep. See you guys. Thank you.
Alrighty. Your second place finisher, the inverse of the finishing order from season in the top two. Your season 5 Venom All-Star Race winner, Michael Dean, will finish runner-up here tonight. I talked to Will, and was sort of in the thick of it all night long. It seemed like you were more towards the front for the entirety of this race, and you did a pretty good job staying out of trouble. Is that what it felt like, at least from the cockpit of your car?
Yeah, there was some sketchy moments for sure, but we were lined up with teammates most of the night, and we almost pulled it off, got a P2, kept Ryan from burning out like he did me last year at the All-Star race, so no complaints from me.
Now, how much ahead of a race at, especially at a track like iRacing Superspeedway, do you game plan versus just kind of going with the flow?
So it's kind of, we started out game planning. We tried to run the top line, tried to get all the team ICR and Siddle working together for the Super Speedway races this season. We tried to run the top line, it didn't work. After that last big caution, we just said, do whatever works, do what you got to do. So that's what we did.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, thank you for being one of our driver cameras here tonight. We got you on broadcast right now, so thanks for volunteering to do that for us here. What are you looking forward to here on the rest of the season? You put together quite a few really good finishes here. What's the best chance you think you got at a win here this season?
Man, I wish I had an answer for you. I feel like every week's been a pretty good week for us. If we don't get wrecked out, then we're finishing in the top 10 at the very least. So we'll keep on trucking, and yeah, appreciate you guys.
For sure. Anybody else you want to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, just the same as usual. The team, the league, you guys, Jamie for letting me do this, and appreciate you guys.
Back-to-back Booth 200 appearances. Hope to make it a trifecta at Richmond next week.
Yes, sir. Let's keep it rolling.
All righty. Have a good one.
You as well.
And now, back in Booth 200 as a winner again. It's been too long, but we've got the one and only Ravishing Ryan Dye. He is your winner of the Season 6 All-Star Race for the Venom Truck Series. Welcome back to Victory Lane, partner.
Hey, thanks. Not how I wanted to win it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, so just to clarify, every single caution tonight was admin triggered until the last one, and the auto caution triggered. It's like unbelievable.
Yep. We have no idea why.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Either me, Andy, or Ziddle threw every caution, and then we were all just going to let it go, and the race threw it. So I don't know.
Yeah, a horrific turn of events for, I guess, everybody that didn't win this race. But you did, and it's not through some fluke either. Matt and I were both talking on the broadcast about how you kept trying that third lane, and you made it work a couple of different times. And the last time you needed to make it work, you got out to the lead right as the caution came out.
Yeah, I should send some money to Roman. I've been trying to make that top lane work what felt like the entire last half of this race. And then, like you said, the one time I needed it, truly, Roman gave me just a hellacious shot. My wheel was turned almost 90 degrees to the right. He hit me so hard. But it was just enough to push me out, I don't know, maybe half a truck in front of Rodney when the yellow came out. And like you said, sometimes that's all you need is, once you're up front, when chaos ensues like this, then things like this happen. I wish it would have went green, though, to see how it was going to finish, because I think we were going to have a a wild finish to the end. Michael Dean was ready to punt me, much like I punted him last year.
I mean, the quarter mile, 3 mile, it doesn't matter. The punt is always inbounds. Matt, Matt, what do you got for Ryan here?
Hey, congratulations. Coming to that last restart, you've been working the top lane all night, and you see Steve Roman stick the nose of that truck in between the other two of you. What is going through your mind? Are you thinking, oh boy, here we go?
Yeah, so at first I thought, well, here's how we all die. Because I wasn't going to give an inch. And I know that Rodney on the bottom wasn't either. And then it just at the last second, it kind of occurred to me, if I can just stay here and we don't wreck, I'm going to have a pretty good run off the top coming out of the turn. You give up some on that top lane going in, but you really got a good run. Like, you're going almost down a mountain coming off that top lane. So I knew if I was up there, I had a chance to at least have a chance, if that makes any sense. And then Dean gave me a good push there to kind of make sure that I stayed out front. I still don't even know who wrecked. Who wrecked at the end?
Stearns, Vroman. I mean, pretty much everybody, honestly.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know. I saw him spinning my mirror. I didn't really. Kind of the elation took over the moment of realizing that I just won under caution.
Well, like you said, it's maybe not how you wanted to do it, but you finished P1 here, or I guess you finished P15 here tonight. Who do you want to thank?
Thank you to you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to my teammates and also ICR, Insert Coin. We ran with them tonight. It's kind of an alliance of Chevys. So, like I said, Michael Dean was the one that kind of pushed me to the win there. So, thanks to them. That was really fun. Thanks to the league. I don't know what it looked like from y'all's view, but the open looked amazing. We were all dying on that second ending. Entire field. I can't wait to go back and watch y'all's call of it.
It's so funny.
I feel like y'all have done 2 All-Star races with us, and we haven't disappointed yet in the memery of what an All-Star race usually becomes. So, thanks to y'all for doing this. Thanks to the league. Thanks to my team and all that. And I'm excited. We went for big and we went for broke.
Well, you ended up not broke here tonight. You ended up with the big dub. You ended up as, I guess, King Meme, if you want to put it that way.
King Meme. I'll take it.
All right. Carrying that momentum into Michigan tomorrow night, question mark, for the Daredevil series?
I mean, I feel good about it. It's maybe the one time I don't dread going to Michigan. So,
hey.
I would love to go back-to-back. Let's do it.
All right. That sounds like a plan. Best of luck tomorrow, but congrats on tonight. Go party hard.
Thank y'all.
All right, we've got an official finishing order, and Matt can't put up a graphic for it. It's in the Discord here, so I will run through this real quick. Ryan Dye, Michael Dean, Will Salamone, your top 3. Rodney Matney will finish in 4th. Kevin Sargent in 5th, just like he was at Daytona after making it through the big crash there on the last lap. Paul Ellison 6th, Kyle Zettel 7th, Brantley Gainey in 8th, Eric Breeding in 9th, TJ Bartell in 10th. Steve Roman, Chad Stearns, Luke Peterson, John Kay, Andy Poliski, your top 15. Flanky Roberts in 16th. Kenneth Graves in 17th. Jan Van Leer, Jeremy McKinnon, and Garrett Rainey, your top 20. Not your top 20. That's just the full finishing order there. So, oh my God. I know this broadcast is really, really long, so I'll let you make some closing remarks here, and then we're going to send it straight home.
Well, I mean, we had a lot of people in the chat here tonight, mostly due to the open race, and we had some drivers in the chat. So always good to see everybody in the chat here. I want to list them all because y'all deserve it. JK Gaming, Greg Roberts, Brantley Gainey, Wes Brown, Endernix, Paul Ellison, Virox, Jeremy McKinnon was here, Mike, Lindsay G, Sean Boundy was in here as well for a little bit. Let's see. Oh, and Caitlin McLaughlin was here as well. Oh, and Pascal Samard. Almost forgot him. So, thank you to you guys for watching. I know it was a long one, but we hope that you enjoyed it because it was nothing but action all night long from the Venom Truck Series, the All-Star Open and All-Star Race. And you don't want to miss it. We've talked about it already. Be here tomorrow night for the Daredevil Series from Michigan. We've already said it. You don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. Be here tomorrow night for that. Thursday night, the Maximum Velocity Racing League is back in action at Phoenix. Next Monday, the SWM Cup Series, our final round of coverage for that will be at Bristol. That is going to be a great way for us to send out our coverage of the SWM Cup Series. And then next Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series is in action at Richmond. We are keeping on the meme train. That is going to be some more beating and banging action. And to make sure you're here for it, make sure you hit subscribe on your way out of the stream here tonight. Appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us. Hope to see you back again tomorrow, or if not, before next Tuesday for some more Venom Truck Series action. For everybody here with the Venom Truck Series and from Turn 200, for the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, I've been Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long from iRacing Superspeedway, where Ryan Dye is King Meme and your winner of the Season 6 Venom Night of All-Stars. Have a good night, everybody.
And shout out to the Rutherford brothers and Madison Bowen. I almost forgot you.
Yes, shout out to you guys. Have a good night.